It would take so very little to throw your life into jeopardy. Everyone is living on a set of assumptions based upon a weak and fragile infrastructure. Should the infrastructure break, as it will, people will suddenly be thrown into desperation and confusion. It is those who can be forewarned, it is those who have the courage to face the inevitable changes that will come and the grave possibilities they bring with them that will be strong enough to withstand these challenges and to provide strength, encouragement and direction for others. Therefore, do not worry about trying to change the awareness of everyone. It is your awareness that must change. It is you who must reach out to whoever is in your proximity that can support and assist you in your efforts. People have talents. They have wisdom. They have skills. These will all have to be brought together for the welfare of everyone involved. Even if you cannot get your town or city to develop a preparation plan, you can still reach out to certain people and establish a network with them. The situation calls for human strength, but it will also reveal human weakness in all of its manifestations. A great difficulty the human family has is in not preparing for the future, not preparing for the real future, not thinking ahead, not being able to look out on the world with clear and objective eyes, and not considering the possibilities, the probabilities, and the extreme likelihood of great change. You are living in a world of decline. The availability of fuel, the availability of electricity, the availability of food, and in some places water, will become ever greater problems as your environment is unable to provide for the overarching demands of people in the way that they live. Medicines will be difficult to acquire, particularly if you are living in outlying or rural regions. It will not be as it is today, where you can simply order things electronically and they will be delivered. Such deliveries may not be possible in the future. What are you going to do if you require these medications? These are all extremely practical and realistic questions now. Perhaps they were unthinkable before, and you never concerned yourself with them. But now you must concern yourself with them, for you are facing a set of changes in the world that will alter the availability and the distribution of resources, fundamental resources. And you will see how vulnerable you really are in even considering these things, particularly if you are living in isolation geographically or socially. That is why it takes time to build access to other people who are aware of the great waves of change, to help one another to consider what must be done and to use the recommendations that are presented here as a starting point. It will require a lot of energy and time to do this, energy and time that now is being given to things of perhaps little or no value, or things that are certainly not essential for your future well-being. Take all of the energy that you might use currently in complaining about the world, complaining about other people, complaining about your government, or complaining about life, and bring that focus and energy to bear in preparing for the great waves of change, in building a network of support with other people, and in educating your local community. The majority of people are unaware that the great waves are coming, and when those waves arrive, they will not be ready. Life is about living fully in the moment, and about preparing wisely for the future. That is what the animals do. That is what human beings must learn to do if they are to be intelligent. It is coming back into the natural world and leaving your artificial world of technology, your artificial world that is based upon weak assumptions based upon a weak and overextended infrastructure that supports you with what you need. Do not think that because the nation you live in is large and highly populated and that there is wealth and technology that it cannot fail in the face of the great waves of change, and that society itself cannot be undone at the very core. Even as food becomes more expensive, and in places unavailable, it is going to push your economic stability over the edge. And this is happening already. Think now, what would happen if this price increase did not stop? You are preparing for a world in decline. If you have lived in a wealthy and affluent nation, it is going to be a very difficult recognition and transition to make. It will be difficult in large part because of your ideas, your assumptions and your beliefs, and a weakness that has been established over time and disabling you from facing difficult and unexpected circumstances. Therefore, you must bridge your isolation. Become involved in your local community. Speak in your local city councils and governments. Find out what your town or your city or your nation is doing to prepare for these great difficulties. Read, become educated, go visit people, participate. Escape your isolation and self-obsession. Become involved. Become an advocate. Share the revelation in this book with other people. Read what other people are discovering as they begin to discern the great waves of change. This is healthy for you. It is redemptive for you. It will give you confidence if you act. If you do nothing, your confidence will fall away, and you will sink into despair. Then you will be truly powerless and truly vulnerable. The situation calls for you to become powerful, for you to become engaged with others, for you to escape your own hellish isolation, for you to take action, for you to realize your strength, to utilize your skills, and to utilize the skills of other people, knowing that alone you cannot prepare adequately for the great change that is coming now. If you live in a desert region, you may have to leave, as there may be no water for you in the future, and it may be very difficult for food to reach your community. Do not live near moving water, near rivers that will overflow in the face of violent weather and changing climate conditions. It is wise to move away from coastal regions that will be affected by violent weather, and in many cases from certain large cities that will be subject to extreme social unrest. Knowledge within you, the greater intelligence that God has given you, will give you direction and will give you signs and will provide steps for you to take. You take these steps without fully understanding the whole process or the outcome. You simply take the steps. Knowledge will speak to you through your thoughts, through your feelings. But it will not speak through fear, it will not speak through fantasy, and it will not speak to your preferences. You must be open, asking knowledge within yourself, what must I do now? What is the next step for me? How shall I regard this particular situation? What decision should I make regarding this particular thing? You must stay with this. You have to get past fear and rejection, shock and awe, to get into a place of greater clarity and objectivity so that you can respond to knowledge, feel knowledge, hear knowledge and see the signs that knowledge is giving you. You cannot solve this problem for the world. You cannot solve this problem for the nation. You first must build your ark. And you must build the ark before the rains come, before the great change is upon you. You must help others build arks, and you must join your ark with theirs so that you have relationship and community. Your strength is in knowledge, relationship and community. All three of these now become primary. It is more important than wealth. It is more important than pleasure. It is more important than seeking escape. It is more important than your hobbies and your obsessions. It is more important than your romances and your tragedies. Building your connection to knowledge, building strong relationships with others, and becoming part of a community of preparation, this is what really matters. You must function on only partial awareness and partial certainty. You will not know everything that needs to be done. No one knows that. You will have to choose carefully who you listen to, for some people will give you very bad advice. Even people who are aware of the great waves of change can give you very bad advice as to what you must do. Here the strength of your relationships will help you, for it is more difficult to deceive two minds than it is to deceive one. Here you must bring everything to knowledge. Ask knowledge, is this a good idea? Ask knowledge, should I follow the recommendations of this person? Perhaps you will feel resistance. Perhaps knowledge would be silent. Both indicate that you should stop and not proceed with that decision or follow that person. You must be patient. You must be observant. If you are frightened and panicked, you will do extreme and unwise things. You have to face great danger with courage and with as much objectivity as you can muster. This requires the power of knowledge within yourself. And it requires the confidence that you can take action, that you can move your life in a positive direction, and that you will not fall into the trap of easy assumptions or simple solutions, thinking you have an answer for everything. Do not underestimate the risks and the power of the great waves. Many people will do this, thinking, "Oh, well, you just provide this new technology, and it's not a problem," or "You just have people change their behavior in this one way, and everything is fine." Others will say, "It is not really a big problem. It is all being invented by other people for their own profit or advantages." You will hear a whole range of responses to the great waves of change. But only within yourself, in the depth of your experience, will you know, and if you listen carefully, you will see who amongst others is wise and who is unwise. One should never underestimate adversity when entering into changing circumstances. That is basic wisdom regarding living in physical reality. Many people do this, of course. Some people do this in facing anything and everything. But for you, you must gain a greater strength, a greater confidence, and with it a greater patience. You have to follow the steps. You cannot simply have big answers. Big answers will not be true answers. Everything has to be tried and proven. You do not climb a great mountain in one giant leap. You have to prepare yourself and your provisions, and you have to take the long journey and build strength and wisdom as you go. Do not worry that others are not doing this. Do not worry that the general population seems asleep and falsely self-assured. You yourself must prepare. Against all odds, you must prepare. Against the discouragement you will see in observing others, you must still prepare. You prepare because you must, not because everyone is doing it, not because the experts have told you that you must do it. Even most of the experts do not know what is coming and are not responding appropriately. You are being given a gift of love here. If you can appreciate the problem, you will see the value of the answer. If you can recognize the great challenge coming now, you will appreciate the gift of preparation. You will not see it as an inconvenience. You will not think of it in a negative way. You will not deny it, repudiate it, or think it is too extreme. In fact, it is quite appropriate in the face of the great waves. This preparation will redeem you. It will free you from your own self-obsession, your own weaknesses, your own foolishness, and your own preoccupations. It will require you to respond to life and to the world and to reality. You will find you have strength you did not know you had before. If you take action, you will realize that you have this strength and can build this strength. If you reach out to others, you will find that others have strength, and you will need their strength as well as they will need yours. This will be life-affirming, for people were meant to function together in harmony. People do not do well when they are living in isolation, whether it be geographical isolation, social isolation, or psychological isolation. People wither and shrink in isolation, but become stronger in functioning together for a greater purpose. Now you have a greater purpose. You do not have to wonder now, who am I, why am I in the world, and what am I really here to do? Because life is telling you what you must do, and knowledge within you is urging you to respond. You are freed from endless deliberation, self-questioning, self-evaluation, and self-obsession. For